Oh my god, I'm so excited to see how this all ends. We are going to finish episode 7 tonight. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take. I don't, I doubt it will take 3 hours, and I'll just end stream early if it does. I do just, I want like a fresh start for episode 8, if that makes sense. That'll make things go easier in my brain. But elsewise, I've had a good day of no work. And I've drank lots of coffee, and I want to play more EU5. I didn't really get to do that today, as I went to my parents. Um, so, did not get my EU5 quota in, but elsewise it's been a pretty good day. And I don't work until late tomorrow, so there's a slight chance I might just stream EU5 tomorrow for a little bit. We'll see. I think I'm going to get started, and we're just going to have a nice little tea party with all the friends. Hello, sun baby. When I came to, all was silent. Oh, really? Okay, I'm excited then. You're hyping me. The room was dimly lit, and yet it was massive. Where on earth is this? I was sitting in what seemed to be a very short sofa. It was very constricting. It looked like there were several more of them to each side of me. Once I noticed that, I realized that I was in a theater. Where on earth am I? I don't know how long I've been here, and more importantly, I don't know where this is. Beatrice's funeral ended. Everyone went back to the mansion, and after that, my memory gets fuzzy and I can't recall anything else. Then I was surprised to notice the presence of another person. Apparently, I wasn't the only one sitting in the audience seating of this vast theater. The sound had come from a seat to the side of mine. When I looked, I saw a girl sitting several seats to my left. It was a face I had never seen before. Who is she? She looked like a high schooler, a college student, about the same age I was. Is it gonna be Angie? She groaned. Apparently, she had just woken up. I didn't want to scare her, so I decided to introduce myself first. Hello. Oh, it is Angie! Whoa! Okay, that was a good pull from me. Apparently, she was equally surprised to find someone other than herself here. She jumped when she heard my greeting. Who the hell are you? I feel the same way. It seems that neither of us is here of our own accord. Is that the one-winged crest? Huh? Oh, do you recognize this crest? She looked suspiciously at the one-winged eagle crest emblazoned on my collar. Her stare, which was unmoving but not openly hostile, wasn't exactly pleasant for me. Allow me to introduce myself first. I am Ushiramiya Leon. Ushiramiya, huh? What? Leon. Written as blah blah blah, but pronounced Leon. A pretty strange name, don't you think? No stranger than mine. But I'll have to apologize. I haven't done Angie's voice in so fucking long. Oh, look, she's wearing the successor ring. They're both wearing the ring. I don't know who you are. That's hardly surprising. Since I don't know you either. Yeah, Angie's wearing, like, the real one, and Leon is wearing, like, the other universe one. which is silver for some reason. That's not what I meant. Who are you? I have to move my mic. Okay. There's no one like you in the Ushiramiya family. And why are you so sure? Do you have something to do with my family? I'm a member of the Ushiramiya family. But that's... She showed me her left sleeve, and the crest of the one-winged eagle emblazoned upon it. I regret having to ask the same question, but who are you? I've never seen you in the Ushiramiya family. First, they tear me into little bits, then they make me read. Oh, what's next? Which witch am I supposed to be entertaining this time? She spat out those words and seemed to be complaining about something. Angie. I'm Ushiramiya Angie, Rudolph and Kyrie's daughter. What? Angie-chan? But you're supposed to be 6 years old. I was 6 during the year of the final family conference on Rokenjima. Now I get it. So you're a person from the year 1986. I'm 18 years old, and I'm from the year 1998. In other words, you're the Angie-chan of 12 years in the future. I'm glad you believe it. But unfortunately, I don't have a clue who you are. Who are you? Who are your parents? Ah, my father is Kraus. Natsui is my mother. That would make you Jessica One-chan. Ah, no. Jessica is my little sister, actually. What's going on? Wasn't Jessica One-chan an only child? By this point, I was starting to figure out the situation this Angie had come from. She's probably from the world where I awakened as a witch, the world where Leon doesn't exist. It will be a bit difficult to explain, but think of it this way. In a world slightly different from the one you know, I am also a member of the Ushiramiya family. In your world, a different fate leads me to walk a different path through life, so that I do not live as an Ushiramiya family member. Are you a witch? Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm just an ordinary human, actually. What I just told you is something I heard from the witch called Burncastle-san. Burncastle? That one with the long blue hair and the gloomy face? Oh, yes. That probably fits her, I think. In other words, I've been forced to play along with another witch's farce. Just where is this place? I only woke up a second ago myself. I'm wondering the same thing. It looks like a theater. Are we supposed to watch a play or something? I'm really not in the mood right now. Let's look for an exit. You haven't noticed yet? Look. Huh? These are... Clink. I finally noticed. Both of my wrists and ankles had chains attached to them. As long as I sat here, I had enough slack that I could move about a little, but it looked like there wouldn't be nearly enough for me to get out of this place. Interesting. Parallel. When did... Who would do something like this? Once a witch has made you her piece, you'll be their plaything forever. There's no way to escape. Angie crossed her legs, making the chains clank together. She realized that no amount of struggling could have broken those chains. Getting panicky wouldn't accomplish anything. She must have had nerves of steel. What do you mean, a witch's piece? It's like being their slave. I made a deal once. I said I wanted to see my family, to bring them back from that day. In exchange for making that a possibility, that witch turned me into a witch's piece. At least, the witch kept her promise. I was able to see Oni-chan again. You mean Battler-kun? Well, I wasn't able to tell him who I was. And in exchange for that short bit of time, I'm now trapped inside the witch's toy box for all eternity. Hi, Eric. Oh my god. Are you okay? I have to be managed. I love that. It was a good VOD. It was a good stream. Looks like you are too. Did you make some sort of contract? Nothing of the sort. Did you ever ask a witch to grant a wish for you? Never. She taught me what a miracle my existence is. That's all. Poor Yasu. And or Leon, and or Sayo, and or Shannon, and or Beatrice. 5. Ugh. The number 5 is very important for Umineko. Either way, neither of us are getting out of here. Okay, witches. What kind of show do you have for us this time? Have we moved from reading aloud to theater going? Am I supposed to watch someone else read aloud this time, or what? If that's it, then start it up already. I'm bored enough as it is. Angie yelled this to the pitch black stage. Should I? I'll do it for a little bit. If there's something good coming up. I haven't done this in a while. I haven't done this, I think, since like episode 5. Her voice reverberated throughout the theater, but no one gave an answer. Okay, that's cool. No, someone did. That was also in a voice that rang out across the theater. I'm not sure if I know a lot of the like voice acting voices, so I might need a hand. You guys might just have to tell me, because I don't know a lot of the actual voices the characters have. Because I decided that I was gonna read the whole fucking game. However, that voice sounded theatrical, as though someone was announcing the start of a play. Oh, who is that? I do recognize Battler's VA. Who is that? Is that Jessica? No, that's not Jessica. What happened on that day, you ask? No, that's not Jessica. Who is that? Oh, it sounds familiar. Shit. It sounds like Beatrice. Oh! It's Ava Beatrice. Right? It's Ava Beatrice. That's Leon's voice? Damn. That was like my intention, was to give it a subtle Natsui. It's like a little spin on Natsui, a little less neurotic, a little more calm. Okay. I think I'll switch back. I think I'm good. Today is October 4th, 1986. As a prelude to the family conference, Beatrice's funeral was held. That's a surprise. What? The 40 stream streak! Hell yeah. That's so fucking cool. That's a surprise. So you've come here from October 4th, 1986? Tell me, what happened during those 2 days? The answer she seeks is inside the cat box. Don't ever think I'm not lurking. All I can tell her about is my close call with a sad life. However, I doubt that explanation will satisfy her. Then, a pillar of bright light pierced the stage. You've watched all the VODs? God damn. That's fucking awesome. That's a lot of... That's like 200 hours of content. Oh, that's crazy. There stood a white shadow. That white dress was obviously Claire's. Of course, Angie didn't recognize her. She looked suspicious, apparently wondering who in the world this was. However, even I felt as though something was wrong. Didn't she settle all of her regrets in that funeral a short while ago, before being sent off into the next world? Umineko rewires your brain into a... That's what I've been thinking about recently, is like, am I just gonna rewatch my VODs just for fun? And be like, oh my god, I was so onto this, or what was I, like, waffling about here? She stood all alone in the narrow beam of light in the center of the stage, and the expression on her face was lifeless. The light began to grow brighter and brighter. It shone more and more fiercely on her until it became blinding just to look at her. The world was enveloped by a light so bright that we couldn't open our eyes, surrounded by a sound like wind or television static, and our minds began to go blank. Bro. Ew, I need to clean my fucking computer screen. That shit went dark and I could see all the smudges and stains on that fucker. Oh, nostalgia music! Hold up, I gotta wipe my glasses off too. God damn, I'm blind as fuck. Woo! They are blooming wonderfully again this year.
It must be a pain to take care of all these. Pretty easy for us, though, just looking at them.
I agree. We've got to thank the people who take care of them for us. But isn't it a bit lacking in grace? I prefer the way it used to be, before Nissan decided to pile so much on. The old look did have its own charm, didn't it? Ugh. I love roses. I'd like to have them even more if they didn't have thorns. Ugh. Whoa. Oh, Battler! Holy shit, I haven't seen you forever. Is this the cat box? Oh, this rose garden really takes me back. I'd totally forgotten about it these past 6 years. I guess it really has been that long. Both you and this garden have changed so much. Let me introduce you. Oh, this is Cannon-kun, one of our servants. This is the first time you've met Battler, right? It's the litter box. pleased to meet you. You can just call me Battler. Nice to meet you. Shannon's here too today. Remember when we used to play together? Ah, Shannon-chan. Oh, I'd totally forgotten. Oh, that really takes me back. How's she been doing? She's grown more and more beautiful these past 6 years. You should say hi to her later on. Shannon and George Oni-chan are really good friends. Ugh. Maria, shh. That's a secret. If you would, everyone, allow me to guide you to the guest house. After enjoying the lovely welcome provided by the roses, the relatives followed Goda in the direction of the guest house. Goda is such an innocent little cinnamon roll. I love Goda. Ooh. That would be really cool. I wouldn't be surprised if George did, though. We are back in the beginning. Oh, I'm getting, like, shivers. What if George did take a letter? That would be some really cool, like, episode 3 shit. That's my headcanon for episode 3. That's why she, like, slaughtered George in that episode. Because he, like, told her. October 4th, 1986. Rokkenjima. In a world without Leon. On the day of the Ushirimiya family conference, Maria read a mysterious letter aloud after dinner, just as she had been told to. The writer of the letter claimed to be the Golden Witch Beatrice and challenged the family. Try and solve the riddle of the epitaph. Otherwise, I will take everything. But we know that that the epitaph wasn't even designed to be, like, completed by them. The only person that was really ever, in a way, designed to finish and solve the epitaph is Beatrice. It was Beatrice's announcement of the game's start, the same as the usual games. Had an unknown person appeared related to the problem of the inheritance's distribution? Where was the 20 billion yen worth of gold hidden? What was the purpose of this letter? What if she's not the one who no, that'd be actual total, like, Labubu crack. I can't believe I just said that. Holy shit. It's not. Oh god, that's an awful verbal tick of mine. I can't believe I just did that. For what goal had it been written? Who on earth is this Beatrice? I spent so long baking Kinzo's wife, and I'm so mad it had no real consequence. It was the usual dinner on October 4th, where several bits of suspicion and paranoia intertwined. George-kun, I'm sorry, but could you go to the guest house with the others? My apologies. Shannon, take the children to the guest house. We will move straight on to the family conference. Yes, as you wish. Beatrice, the Golden Witch. What a fascinating letter you've sent us. She's telling us to solve the epitaph? Ridiculous. That gold belongs to us. Why would we ever give it up to someone outsider? Labubu crack means nothing. That is like a phrase that I made up Because I just started like playing games with my friends, and the phrase "I'm smoking Labubu crack in hell with Hitler and Stalin" came up, and that's just where I was. But the joke is, I'll like keep replacing like the nouns. So instead of Labubu crack, it will be like Labubu Jankum. And instead of like Hitler and Stalin, it'll be like Pol Pot and Mao. I don't know. It's just like a weird thing. If we could just find that gold. Okay. I'm glad that I've contributed that to your lexicon. No one would have to lose anything.
Oh no. It would be, if we could just find that gold, we'd all be happy. No one would have to lose anything.
Let's go, everyone. They'll be having an adult conversation from here on out. Sheesh. Sounds like it's gonna get complicated. Come on, Maria. Let's go. Beato's ceremony has begun. Okay, everyone. I shall guide you to the guest house. Now, one of my biggest questions all the way back in episode 1 was, how did Rudolph know he was gonna die? That's like my biggest fucking mystery. I still have been wondering this. Yeah. What's all this about? Probably a replay of one of the old games. I need to put on my fucking cortisone cream. My eczema is fucking killing me. Oh my god. It was warm today, too. God damn. This shit sucks. Yeah. Maybe if, like, Rosa just, like, was, like, a mother figure to Maria, this wouldn't be so bad. Probably a replay of one of the old games, or else an entirely new game. In all the games, October 4th happens in pretty much the same way. New game. You mean a tale that hasn't appeared in any of the fragments so far? There's no way they'd go to the trouble of chaining us down if they just wanted to show us a game we already know. It's probably a new game. That means there should be a game master. Who is it? That witch? Burncastle? I can't imagine so. Claire should have vanished already. There should be no need to spin up a new tale. Beato's game board was hijacked by those evil witches long ago. Even Beato is nothing more than a piece in their games. Just who is behind this? And what are they after? What do they want to show us? Oh, Lambda, please. Lambda, come on, feed it to me. I miss her so much. Before this, I don't even think I could do her voice. I had to, like, practice. Before this tale began, Claire definitely appeared on the stage. She is the teller of the tale of Beatrice's game. Beatrice, the me from a world of a different fate. However, didn't she entrust everything to Will, who solved all of the riddles? Yeah, the popcorn eater. Super paper. There should be no need for her to make new riddles. Super paper. That's my warm-up. In that case, is Burncastle using this tale to test me? Along with Will, I have at least touched the deepest depths of this tale and understood the culprit's heart. So even if an entirely new tale presents itself, I should be able to see through the riddles. Is that what my role is? I have no clue, Bedwards. I'm really confused. I have no idea what they're playing at here, but I think it has to deal with like several unsolved questions that still exist about Battler's parentage, or that's actually the big one. I think it has something to do with this, with Battler's parentage, which is still an unsolved question. Is my role to teach Angie about the truth of this tale? That is true. Angie doesn't know who it is. Or at least they haven't told us that she knows who it is. Imaginary girlfriend. Is that what my role is? Is my role to teach Angie about the truth of this tale? Do you know? Do you know the truth of this tale? I have several theories. Still, none of those can give a conclusive answer. The truth is always inside the cat box. I can't say anything for sure. In this world, Angie is absent on this day, so it's only natural that she doesn't know what happened. However, at the very least, I do know who the culprit is, what they were trying to do on this day. I think I've finally understood my role in this. What do you mean? Apparently, you're here as a theater goer, and I'm here as a commentator. And as a commentator, what exactly is you're going to explain to me? After all, I know who's behind the crime that's about to occur. What did you say? I'm getting so much nostalgia from this fucking music. It questions arc music. Oh my god. It's so good. Thinking about it straightforwardly, the only explanation I see is that someone's trying to make us solve the epitaph, hoping that to then snatch the gold for themselves.
I agree. If they'd already solved it, they could just take it. There'd be no need to challenge us to solve the riddle.
It's a prank by one of the servants. They must be hoping to pick up the scraps from the celebration if the gold is found. I cannot imagine that any of our servants would do such a thing. Or maybe one of us sent the letter, pretending to be a servant. If that's it, you're the most suspicious one. You schooled Maria-chan on her part and made her read the letter, didn't you? I wouldn't do that.
Give that a rest, Ava. We can't jump to conclusions. Isn't this the time for all of us to stick together?
That's right. The aim of this strange letter is probably to disrupt our unity. The more we let it affect us, the more things will go the way of this Beatrice who sent it. Yeah, like, seriously, she's not, like, she doesn't know the first two fucking things about her daughter. Kyrie-san's right. Wouldn't it be best to simply ignore a letter like that from the start? That is what I have been saying this whole time. This sort of prank is not worth considering.
Yes, that's it exactly. If a couple improbable claims for damages get you flustered, you'll never be able to sell anything.
My husband is right. This is a child's prank, and taking it seriously is just a waste of time. If someone really wanted to shake up the inheritance issue, they'd come forward boldly, instead of using something this roundabout.
You've got it right there. Someone probably wants to make us think there's another person trying to make demands about the inheritance, when their real goal is just to pick up the scraps.
Okay. Ooh. I wonder if they'll ask for some hush money in exchange for staying out of the inheritance issue. Yeah, she has no control over the servants, basically. It's all run by Kinzo. And none of them, I don't really think, like her. If that were the case, they should have written it into the letter. And the letter is just a challenge, telling us to try solving the epitaph or else hand over everything. The culprit is trying to make us solve the epitaph's riddle. Nothing more, nothing less.
So it's simple. If we worry about this letter, we lose.
Indeed, I agree. After that big mysterious show, like something out of a mystery novel, we've all gotten a bit too wrapped up in this. I don't think we've gotten a bit wrapped up in it at this point. Ha 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 ha. It seems we're all taking this too seriously. But who did it? Such an aggravating thing to do. If it wasn't a servant, then one of us must have written it. I'm not naming names, of course. Stop it! I really know nothing about this. Settle down, settle down. Anyway, what this letter says does make a bit of sense. All of us need money. And, if possible, we need it right away. No one here has any objections to that, right?
Of course not. Whether it's money or love, you can never have too much.
Ew, shut the fuck up, Rudolph. Shut up, we hate that you. Keep it in your pants. We don't know when Father's inheritance will come to us. However, the gold of the epitaph is different. If we find it, we could just split it then and there. In a sense, it's even closer to us now than the inheritance. Assuming we can solve the epitaph. Ugh. Everyone here has tried solving it on their own, yes? Kyrie asked the room at large, and everyone wordlessly nodded back. Here, we have 4 people who have inherited the blood of the one who made that riddle, and each has tried solving it on their own. That doesn't sound very efficient, does it?
True. We've all been greedy and tried to go it alone. However, we've already reached a decision about how we'll split the gold up if it's found. And about acknowledging Anarchy as the successor.
Though you demanded quite a lot in exchange. I wonder if we can solve that epitaph if we pool our efforts and work together. 2 heads are better than 1. And here we have 7. 7. Today we reached a general agreement about the inheritance problem. Why not take a shot at the epitaph for a bit of fun on the side? Nice idea. Let's give it a try and call it a break. Ridiculous. Of course there's no hidden gold. Is this before or after Kraus Schultz shows her the gold? Probably before.
Take it easy. Just think of it as a game. Let's have Goda-san bring us something cool to drink. Goda, I want a Sprite. We could take a break and play with riddles as a big, happy bunch of siblings for once.
I don't remember when exactly in episode 1 he shows her the gold, but I consider that like a canon event, if that makes sense. Like that's something that happens every... I don't know how to explain that. Like I feel like that's something that happens every episode. A canon event, yes. Well, the night is long. It would at least be more productive than pointless inquiries into Father's health. I'll ring up Goda-san. He can bring us something. Let's have tea and sweets. Oh, and a map of Taiwan. Lord Yu. Two shadows could be seen in the rose garden arbor. It was George and Shannon's secret meeting. I want you to take this ring. George-sama, I swear to love you all my life. Not just now, while we're young. I swear to love you and keep you happy until we get old and go to our graves. And are there any lies or exaggerations in your words? No, not one. I'm confident in my resolve to love you and build a happy household together with you. And what would this happy household be like? Well, it will be full of happiness. We'll have a house with a car and a yard and one dog. The yard will have a vegetable garden. The kids will run around and we'll smile down on them from the balcony as we're drinking iced tea. We'll have one girl and one boy, George Jr. and... little dork. That's what our typical future Sunday will look like. What the fuck? Okay. You have this as a... Oh, it doesn't even work. I thought it would link to it. I know what your image looks like, though. That's what our typical... Fucking, what a douche. George underscore Payne underscore 1080 HD underscore 01.jpg. And yet it conveyed all the meaning I needed. Oh, that would be wonderful. She's not into you, bro. What? Those two are going out? Shh. Why are you so damn loud? Maria'll wake up. I see. So that's how it is. Now that you mention it, they seem to have a pretty good mood going on. There. That's right. We're about the age where you fall in love. We've changed a lot in the last 6 years. George Nissan used to be a bit unreliable, but he isn't anymore. That's what I thought. George Anaki's got that air of dignity thing going. Like, air of stink. Wash your pits, George, goddamn. But still, Shannon George Anaki. That's a bit unexpected. They've played together often enough 6 years ago, but I didn't think they were that close. I get that, though. Well, 6 years is a long time. These 6 years have been huge for all of us. Yep. A lot's happened to me these 6 years, and to be honest, I've forgotten almost everything about Rokkenjima. And I'd forgotten almost everything about you, too. Now that really hurts. I'm so sad about this. Talking together like this, it felt as though we'd been teleported 6 years into the past. 6 long years. So long that I forgot almost everything. And yet it's coming back to me, bit by bit. Shannon-chan. 6 years ago, you were part of our group, and we played together a lot, didn't we? Back then, I think I might have liked Shannon-chan. That was the age when we all were overly self-conscious, in love with love. Oh, shit, now he remembers. Bittersweet memories of jokes involving melodramatic, flippant words. That takes me back. Jokes. Oh. I think I remember saying all kinds of stuff I'd be way too embarrassed to say now. It's all a prank. Just remembering it is making my face go red. Shannon might be a scatterbrain, but her memory's incredible. Guess I'll just have to ask her all about your dark, embarrassing history. Quit it. That was 6 years ago. The statute of limitations has gotta be up. Oh my god. George does not care at all about the statute of limitations. I see. Take a shot every time Umineko hits you with an IC. So Shannon Chan is going out with George Aniki. Ellipses. What am I thinking? Could this be jealousy? I didn't really think about it until now, but that thing Shannon Chan and I had back then was probably my first love. Well, it's not like I have any right to be jealous after forgetting the whole thing until we met again. Smoke a bowl every time a puppet string gets cut. The puppet string thing started back in episode 4 too, and it's been, I think, used in every episode since then. I love how they kept this information from us. Like, they were baking this shit. We're kind of seeing a different perspective.
Everyone knows that Dad's hometown was Taisho in Taiwan.
Yeah, I didn't fucking know. He still chews Eureka nuts from time to time in memory of that place. Apparently, he got hooked on that instead of smoking when he was young. But there must be several rivers with the sweet fish swimming in them. It has several mountain streams that are famous sweet fish fishing spots. Anyway, you could probably find sweet fish living anywhere and the water was clean. We're completely stuck. Maybe it was just some nearby creek father played in as a kid. He said sweet fish, but maybe we're looking for something more like carp? Or it could be some sort of metaphor. The river isn't necessarily a river with water flowing through it. What do you mean by that? Well now, who knows?
Kyrie has a point there. Isn't it a bit too early to be sure that Taiwan is this homeland, or that this Sweetfish River is a river with water flowing down it?
If we look at it that way, we're just stuck again. The more you think about this riddle, the harder it gets. Oh, that's it. This is just a riddle. Kyrie-san is right. We need to be flexible in our thinking. If we're looking for a river near Taisho, that would have to be the Danshui River, which I'm going to keep saying it like that because it seems like that's the right one to me. Are you even listening? We just said that it might not be... Okay, I just smacked my big plastic bag full of bottles. Okay. They are speedrunning this. God, I love Kyrie. She's a character that has not had a lot of love in these recent episodes. Is there any proof that this river is a Sweetfish River? Me when Kyrie. You're right, I'm sorry.
Well, it probably did have sweet fish in it. After all, Dan Shui does mean fresh water. Makes sense that a freshwater fish like sweet fish would be swimming in it.
Sweet fish are a freshwater fish. So a Sweetfish River would be a freshwater river. Is that how we get Danshui River? Quite the word game. Now, that's an interesting theory. Let's advance our reasoning a bit further. As you travel down the river, you will see a village. What's the name of the town at the mouth of the Danshui River? It says Danshui here. I went sightseeing in Danshui. It was a calm and gentle harbor town. Beautiful sunsets.
Did you find the shore the two will tell you of?
Not really. It doesn't ring any bells. I guess the beloved hometown wasn't in Taiwan. It might have been Odawara after all. If we can't discount any possibilities, then we won't get anywhere. We can't even get past the first line of the epitaph. Quiet! You're distracting me. It has to be Taiwan. Father wouldn't describe any other place as beloved. That is one thing we can agree upon. To this very day, Taiwan is the homeland of Father's heart. It's probably best if we don't spend too much time on the first line. I'm going to take a look at the others. Just a quick peek, starting at the first twilight.
Me too. I'll leave the Sweetfish River to you, Anaki, and have a go at the second half.
On the first twilight, offer the 6 chosen by the key as sacrifices. How mysterious. They're baking it. I've got it, Ava suddenly muttered. All of the others spun around to look at her. Ava was flipping through the pages about Taiwan with incredible force, then found the page she was looking for and slammed the book open so hard that it almost tore. This whole time, the book had been open to the page with place names. As far as the overall mass of information went, this seemed the most useful page to start from. However, the page Ava opened to was very limited in its scope of information. It was a map of railway lines. As you travel down the river, there's a village. A village. There it is, the village. What are you talking about? Explain yourself. Quiet! There's a shore, too, and a mouth, and I'm not sure what it means by the two, but there definitely is a village, and a shore, and a mouth. Oh, this has to be it. This is definitely the village where the key to the gold sleeps. Calm down. Explain it so we can understand, too. The Dan Shui line. I see. So the Sweetfish River was actually a railroad called the Dan Shui line. Well, I doubt there are any sweetfish swimming there. Shut up, Natsui, you're missing the point. Look! If we follow the Dan Shui line down, there's a station that used to be known as Kirigan. Look at the characters it's written in. There's a village, a mouth, and a shore. She's right. There's a village, mouth, and shore.
As you travel down the river, you will see a village. True, that's the only station on the Dan Shui line that has the character for village in its name.
I see, it's like a code pointing towards this station's name. This has to be it. There's no doubt. We just need to look a bit further and we'll definitely find out what the two who speak mean. Look! Oh, this is it! This is it! The region around the station has the same name except with a mouth in the second character. That makes a total of 2 mouths in Kirigan. Are those the two who speak? Incredible, Nason. This has to be it. Does this mean that the key is hidden somewhere in this town of Kirigan? I wonder. The whole riddle so far has been a word game. If so, isn't it likely that the sleeping key is also a word game? I agree. On the first twilight, the key selects 6 sacrifices, right? So it's hard to imagine that it's actually something key-shaped. Whew.
This is getting damn interesting.
Offer up the 6 chosen by the key. Let's think of a key that's somehow related to this. And let's break down this name, Kirigan. I'm absolutely sure that this is a word game. It has to be. Think, everyone. That's interesting. Though this rain would get me down if I were alone, it feels nice and cool when you're by my side. Oh, it's about time for us to head back. I'm keeping Canon-kun waiting. You're right. And I've probably kept Jessica-chan and Battler-kun waiting. Oh, it brings back good memories. Remember when the 4 of us used to play together? Oh, it was a lot of fun back then, too. To me, it's a lot more fun now, because I get you all to myself. Ah, oh, George-sama. They laughed at George's melodramatic line. However, George's laugh seemed just slightly forced. George-sama? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I guess I still have a bit of an inferiority complex when it comes to Battler-kun. An inferiority complex? Like Uncle Rudolph, he's lively, interesting, and just full of energy. He's much more attractive than I am, and I can tell it by how much he outshines me when we're together. That's not true. You're very accomplished and attractive. You aren't worse than Battler-sama in any way. What the fuck? Why is Battler frame-mogging me? Yeah, inferiority complex, George? I actually find this shit quite simple. You are actually just worse than Battler in every way. Damn, must suck to be you. Really? Yes, really. The truth is, when I first heard that Battler-kun would be coming back this year, I wasn't happy about it. Oh my fucking god. Fuck George. What an asshole. Why not? 6 years ago, Battler-kun was the one who was really close to you. Fuck yes. We love chat restricted messages. Battler, oh, I'm convinced now that George hit a letter. Oh my god, that has to be true. Yep, I hate George, so I believe it. Without love, without hate, it cannot be seen. I wanted to get closer to you, but I just couldn't manage to get between the two of you. You two just look so good together that I could do nothing but watch longingly. Is that how it was? Wasn't it just Battler-sama making fun of me one-sidedly? No, he was flirting. Of course you looked incredibly good together. George slander is George truth. There's no doubt about that. I was sure you two were going out. That never happened. You're overthinking it. I really am pathetic. I fucking hate him so much. He's talking to us what he believes to be a 16-year-old girl as a 23-year-old man. And he's like, I'm so pathetic. What a fucking douche. Oh my god. I was afraid that when I hand you this ring today, you'd refuse. Why is that? Why should I refuse your ring, George-san? Because Battler-kun came back. I was afraid that you might like Battler-kun even now. And that now that he's here, you wouldn't have any use for me. George-san, please, look at this. You see the silver glint on my ring finger? What do you think that is? You're right. Sorry. What's got me so shaken, I wonder? I'm probably still jealous of him, now that he's gotten even cooler these past 6 years. How pathetic. No, it's okay. Those feelings are a sign that your love for me is so strong, you don't want to give me up to anyone. If you're worried about my feelings switching to Battler-sama, just love me all the stronger. Just love me all the stronger so that such a thing would be unthinkable. Love me so much that I don't have time to think about other men. I'm scared too. I'm sure that you'll meet many women in the future who are much more attractive than me. Or you might tire of me when I don't match up to your expectations. It scares me to think that I might not be able to grasp hold of your feelings for the rest of my life. There's no need for you to be scared of that. I swear to love you all my life. I guess I got the gene that makes you cry when your parents die. That is true. Actual real Battler line. I swear to love you all my life. Oh, but even though I swore the same thing, you're having trouble believing it just because Battler-sama came back. George, I feel like your intuition is onto something, but I fear it might be far worse than you could have ever fathomed. As Shannon giggled, George finally realized that his own lack of confidence had hurt her. I've fallen for a wonderful man named Ushiramiya George-san. This is a man who has sworn to love me all his life, and who has given me a ring as a sign of this oath. Well, this ring here on my ring finger, I can give an honest confession. Sure. Yes, as you said, I did like Battler-sama 6 years ago. I think I probably liked him more than you. However, that was 6 years ago. Now, things are different. In these 6 years, I've sorted out my feelings for Battler-sama and cut myself off from them along with memories of the past. Now I exist only to love you. That's fucking freaky as shit. That is scary. I would never want somebody to say that about me. I would freak the fuck out. Shannon spoke clearly and strongly. George gave a single, uncertain laugh. It was probably the same sort of laugh that George of 6 years ago had made. Then he stretched resolutely and hugged Shannon without saying a word. In that moment, he said goodbye to the person he had been 6 years ago. I'm fading into the void. Umineko no naku koro ni chiru, nocturne of truth and illusions. Yeah, he felt like a puppet with his strings cut. Yeah, I agree, Eric. I think Shannon is on, like, extreme levels of depersonalization. I think we're all correct here. I do, yep, she was definitely, like, that first step of depersonalization for Yasu. I've got the ladder. Here we go. Quadrillion. This is the only place you'll find that number written on this island. 1/10 of a quadrillion. How suspicious. If our idea is right, there should be some sort of device embedded in that relief. We just need to check. Who's going up?
I'll go. I'm the ladder guy. Hold that ladder down, okay?
Be careful. Wait, be careful! It is fairly high up. I can't give her a soft voice like Leon. Rudolph climbed up the propped-up ladder, step by step, as the rain poured down on him. Look at the queue. See anything? Some sort of device?
Ladder's a bit shaky. Oh boy.
I love that noise. What is it? Did something happen?
Bingo. Take a look at this.
Rudolph tossed the cue down. It hit Kraus on the shoulder and landed in a puddle. Wouldn't that hurt? This is the key. What does this mean? Rudolph Kuhn, don't tell me you can take out the letters, too.
Yeah, looks like it. Guess our crazy theories weren't far off after all. What's the next letter to take out?
I. And the letter L. Utter low.
It spells utter low.
Following her instructions, Rudolph removed the 6 letters of the first Twilight. Now that they'd gotten this far, nothing stood in the way of them solving the riddle. By trial and error, they finally reached the final stage. This is something that I would rewrite. If I was writing Umineko, finally reached the final stage is... Okay. Lord, you. Of course it's about him. It says to gouge starting from the head, which must mean going from left to right. Rudolph-san, starting from the left, turn the keys before taking them out.
Got it. Lord, you.
And then the lion does like the look.
Now we've massacred all the letters. We've reached the 9th Twilight and none are left alive.
So, did something happen?
It felt like something clicked, but nothing changed. Did a hidden door open up somewhere?
Hey, look at that. It moved, I'm sure it did. Everyone look, the lion statue's facing the other way. What's going on? Is there some secret inside the lion statue? That's not it. It's probably telling us to look where the lion's pointing. See? Look that way. That lion's facing a different way too. What does it mean? It's guiding us, stupid. We have to go in the direction of the lion's face. Ava dashed forward. The others all chased after her. The gold was right in front of them. Ava then jumps inside the pile of coins and swims around like Scrooge McDuck again. What if everyone solved the epitaph? Everybody's the successor. Yay! We all get to be the successor together. The real Ushiramiya was the friends we made along the way. Now this is a surprise. Who would have thought that a hidden stairway like this existed? Probably Genji, Kumasawa, Nanjo. You know, they probably all knew this shit existed. It makes sense now. Father didn't like people going near the chapel. I wonder how long that device has been there. Judging by the feel of this underground passage, probably for quite a long time. I imagine it was built at nearly the same time as the mansion itself. The riddle of the epitaph was probably also planned many decades ago.
Well, this is Dad we're talking about. I try not to let the things he does surprise me, but this...
Just how far does this stairway go? Hey, maybe that old rumor was true. You know, the story about him having a mistress in a hidden mansion somewhere in the forest. I see. It's likely that this underground passage goes all the way there. I wonder if it connects to the mansion from that day. I think we found the goal. Look at that filthy door. Something's written on it.
Ooh, bingo.
Something was written on the door in red paint. Oh, I think they already said what was written here, right? I feel like this already came up. On the 10th Twilight at Journey's End, you shall attain the power of the Golden Land's treasures once and for the last time. Okay, that was it. Doi. Does it open? It does. Ready? I'm going to open it. So we finally reached the gold. We can only hope That such a sweet deal's really true. Let's open it, Nason. Right. I'm opening it. Oh, I don't like that noise. Okay. The heavy door opened slowly. Then, the gold-filled underground VIP room showed itself. But there was no gold. No, there it is. Never mind. Woohoo! They only had an instant to admire its splendid furnishings. As soon as the mountain of gold next to the canopy bed came into sight, they all froze, stunned. After a second, the stunned silence faded and was replaced by cries of astonishment and wild joy. Yay, money! Woo! Incredible. I can't believe it. It's 20 billion yen in gold. They all share, which is the right thing to do. It really does exist. What a shining mountain. It almost blinds the eyes. Wahahaha! We did it! We did it! I helped Hideyoshi. We win this game. You mustn't touch it without permission. This is Father's gold. Oh, really? Then why don't you call Father down here now? Right away. The time for your farce is over and done with.
Natsui-ne-san. Let's put an end to the obvious lies, shall we? This fucker's been dead for like 10 billion years. Fucking string boo. Shouldn't we all be honest with each other?
Fortunately, we're all in a good mood and feeling very gracious right now. Just give it up already. A pile of gold this massive carries magical power within it. That power draws out the most honest feelings within people. The light from the chandelier glinted off the golden mountain, lighting them up with its golden sparkle. It was as though the sparkle controlled everyone present. Ooh, that's good writing. For some time, they forgot their age and howled and laughed, running about and rolling around like a bunch of excited kindergartners at a park. What is all this? What's it supposed to mean? Before the crimes, the epitaph has been solved, by all the siblings together. That hasn't happened in any of the games before now. Has it? Supposedly, Beatrice decided not to commit the crime if the epitaph was solved. Yeah, supposedly. We'll see about that. Angie snorted, but I believed. This is what Claire decided. Because she entrusted everything to the roulette of fate, she'll obey the result. What if this is the happy ending that they put in the tomb? She let the roulette decide her own fate specifically because they couldn't decide on their own. So she'll do what it says. She'll follow her own rule. She'll definitely keep her promise. I don't think the crime will occur. Are you sure about that? Yes. Her roulette has already made its decision. This is the end of her game. If it's the end, what happens next? To be honest, if I was like turned into a giant cube of meat, I think I would also have a bone to pick with the narrative. Like as a concept. Like I wouldn't be trusting Claire either. Excuse you, it was hamburger meat. She was delicious. Yeah. They all become happy rich people and leave the family conference unharmed. Does my family get an ingot that isn't chocolate as a parting gift before coming back to me? Will it be happy? Will it be a happy end for everyone? You think those witches would chain us to chairs to show us a naive dream like that? When she showed off the chain on her wrist with a clank, I was unable to counter her with confidence. But I want to believe. Though this might be the least exciting ending, Claire's game has now reached an end. Perhaps, just once at the end, she wanted to show us a world where no crime occurs. Now that she has disappeared with no regrets, is she leaving us a parting gift in the form of a game where no crime takes place? In a sense, the most peaceful sort of game. I want to believe. If only these heavy, cold chains weren't holding us in place in this theater. The crapshoot. Is someone there? Rosa's shrill cry brought the celebrating to an immediate stop. Rosa knew she'd seen it. The curtain against the wall had fluttered, and a shadow had been there behind it.
Come on, don't do that. You're just imagining things.
Is someone there? If you are, come out. When Ava yelled, the curtain shook. And then, a witch wearing a black dress appeared from the other side. In an instant, everyone realized the dress was the same as the one worn by the witch of the portrait. What does this mean? And they realized one more thing. This person was the owner of this room. Welcome to the Room of the Gold. Her face and her voice were expressionless, blank. The others all looked at each other, wondering who should respond. Rudolph was the first to speak.
So you are Beatrice.
Indeed. And you're the one who gave Maria that letter? Indeed. Is Father behind this? Indeed. No. This is my game. If that's so, then we've won. We solved the epitaph's riddle and found the gold. We've accepted your challenge and won. That means this gold belongs to us, right? Indeed, it is as you say. You have solved the epitaph splendidly and discovered the hidden gold. This game ends in your victory. This gold no longer belongs to me, but to all of you. It seems you're a graceful loser. Hey, you! If we hadn't solved the epitaph's riddle, what were you planning to do?
The letter said that you'd take everything of the Ushiramiya family.
Yes. I plan to take all of your wealth and all of your lives. I plan to do as I pleased with everything that exists on this island. The witch walked towards the table next to the bed. Then, for the first time, the others realized what sat on that table. They were 4 rifles. There was also a case filled with bullets. The witch picked up one of the lead bullets, lying on the table, and played with it, her face still expressionless as she spoke. If this night ended before you managed to solve the epitaph's riddle, I plan to follow the epitaph and commit 13 murders. What did you say? You know, that's what I thought when I first saw the epitaph. It almost looks something you'd find in a serial murder mystery novel. That's right. If you had killed 13 people to match the epitaph, that would have made for quite a mysterious crime. There's no way you could do that all by yourself. No matter how many guns you had, killing 13 people, that would just be... I formed my plan with great care and constructed several alternatives. I envisioned all the actions you might take from tonight and through tomorrow. and prepared a mystery to deal with each of those. I'm afraid I cannot reveal those at this point, but it really was a tightly knit set of pleasant closed-room murders.
If there were just a few of us, you probably could have just gunned us down in our sleep. But there's no way you could have killed 13 of us. We aren't that stupid.
It would seem so. At any rate, I predicted that the epitaph being solved before the first twilight was the most unlikely result. It would seem that us reaching this place was a miscalculation on your part. No. Even this was one of the results of the roulette I wished to create. This is probably the best outcome for all of you. No one will die, and you can leave this island with the gold. Congratulations. This game ends with a perfect victory for you all. If no one could solve the riddle, she planned to take a gun and commit a serial murder. Everyone gulped as they watched the witch emotionlessly make her confession. If this confession of yours is the truth, that means you were trying to kill us. Yes, that is true.
The hell? How can you just say it like that?
You couldn't possibly expect us to treat you favorably after revealing that much to us, right? I am prepared. You may do as you will with me. If you hadn't solved the epitaph, I would have done the same to you, so it is only fair.
This girl's got guts.
I planned this game because I was prepared to bet my life. I am satisfied with the result. If you wish to kill me now, I am prepared. By now, she didn't even treasure her life. As the witch spoke and walked near the others, they automatically stepped back. The gold belongs to all of you. I planned to give everything to the one who discovered it first, but I didn't expect there to be 7 of you. I'll leave the discussion of how to split the gold to you. I will not involve myself. And the witch walked even closer. The group parted as she walked up to the antique clock behind them. The clock was large and had a dignified feel to it. The witch patted it and spoke. Allow me to explain the device within this clock. Oh shit, okay. For you have gained not just the gold, but the entirety of this island. What do you mean by that? If you read it like a murder case up until the 8th twilight, then only 13 people are killed. But by the 9th twilight, it clearly says that none are to be left alive.
What does that mean? That she was planning to massacre all of us?
Don't tell me that clock, as you have guessed, is linked to a set of explosives. Are you the one who set that up? Or was that Ushiramiya Kinzo? Kinzo is the one who set up the device. It's the source of his mad magical power. The gold is radioactive. I was right. Small bombs. Absolutely small bombed. I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
In other words, Dad set up this bomb, and if he ever went broke, he was ready to wipe out everything, including himself, and die.
On this island, Ushiramiya Kinzo made a contract with the Golden Witch and obtained the gold. However, that was not all he gained. What are you talking about? What? Wait, don't tell me. There is that rumor about the remains of an old Japanese military base existing on Rokkenjima. Could it be? Your guess is correct. Beneath this island sleep the remains of an underground Japanese military base from the time of the war, along with 900 tons of explosives. 900 tons? That's unbelievable! If that exploded, the result would be unimaginable. Forget just the mansion blowing up. It'd leave a massive crater. I believe an expert's estimate put it at a whole several dozen meters deep and a kilometer across. There wouldn't even be even a trace left. Those explosives can be ignited by a special device. One connected to the activation switch I just flipped. The witch toyed with the switch on the top part of the antique clock. If midnight arrives when the switch is in position, the bombs will explode. Oh, it's almost midnight now. In other words, it won't explode X hours after you flip it. It's a time limit bomb that only explodes at midnight. This is so fucking weird. Well, this would explain the end of episode 4. And how Battler died. He went kablooey. Indeed. It is almost midnight now. If such an explosion is what you desire, you need only leave it like this. Who would want that? Turn it off! By this time, Kinzo was probably the only one who knew. The secret base on Rokkenjima had started out as a submarine base. However, when the plan reached a standstill, it was redefined as a top-secret base for Homeland Defense. A huge plan had been drawn up to have the Army and Navy perform a pincer attack on the American forces if the latter decided to land on Kujukuri Beach and press towards Tokyo. A trump card for this massive defensive maneuver, the Navy started stockpiling large quantities of explosives and fuel in absolute secrecy. In the Rokkenjima base was the location of that top-secret stockpile. Oh my fucking god. The buried explosives weighed 900 tons in total. Also, fearing that the Americans might find out the island's secrets and seize the explosives, they set up a system for the self-destruction of the entire island. Kinzo, who knew all of this, decided not to remove this device, but to tie it in with this strange clock that could trigger such an explosion any night at midnight. Kinzo was famous for building up his funds using a vast store of gold, then using those funds in several sink-or-swim gambles, one after another. Just what did his stockpile of gold and the 900 tons of sleeping explosive mean to him? At this point, we can only guess. This is very Monka-esque. Perhaps the true source of Kinzo's mad power wasn't the gold after all. If he lost a big gamble in all that he owned, he could erase this entire island from existence with this device. For the rest of his life, he must have put the gold and everything else he had on the line. Kinzo probably stared at this clock many times, sometimes flipping the activation switch and letting it tick down. That's so fucking crazy. Maybe, whenever he came upon a problem, he would hide in here and flip the switch. The Kinzo panic room. Kinzo does not need 2 fucking panic rooms. He already had 1 panic room. I gotta get my fucking meds. Oh, fuck. Come on, I just want some vitamin D's. That's so hard. Yes. Okay. With the intention of blowing everything away if he didn't think of a brilliant plan before midnight came. He could gaze at this mountain of gold, listening to the clock tick towards his death as he searched for an idea. Oh, and that's how he, did magic. Whatever. Perhaps Ushiro Miyakinzo's real study wasn't the one in the mansion, but this place instead. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Kinzo had 2 panic rooms. What a normal, well-adjusted man.
That sort of switch sounds just like Dad, but what the fuck even still? So maybe each time Dad worried about something, all of us kids are put on the line as well.
This is father, so it wouldn't be unthinkable. This device now belongs to all of you. If you desired a massive explosion, use it whenever you please. Are you crazy? Who would want a big explosion? These explosives are half a century old, right? Would they really go off? Yes, of course. The explosives and the fuses are still working. I tested them myself. You tested them? Oh, the Torii Gate? What if that's a...
You mean that?
I see. Now I finally understand. Oh my god, I was right about that. Let's go. So that's why the shrine disappeared without a trace. Okay. That's crazy. That summer, the shrine had disappeared completely, along with the reef under it. Though people found it odd that the waves could have wiped it out so completely, no one paid it much mind. Dead angle. And now, this piece fits perfectly into the hole that caused that strange feeling. Indeed, I used that shrine to test whether the explosives were still working after half a century. I believe you are all aware of the result. Ellipses! The little bit I used was enough to make that entire reef vanish. It's easy to see how 900 tons of that would cause an explosion large enough to rewrite the map. If an explosion like that were to occur, it would certainly kill all of us. But what about you? I doubt you were planning to commit a group suicide with us. This underground VIP room is connected by a subterranean passage to the remnants of the military base. If you go straight along that, you'll come out at the hidden mansion on the opposite side of the island, Kuadorian. It's about 2 kilometers away. If you make it all the way there, you should be able to escape the blast. I see. So you plan to escape to there just before the blast. Oh, and Ava got there, okay. I have only said that such a thing is possible. You may not believe this, but if the 9th Twilight ended before any of you could solve the riddle, I plan to die, along with everything else.
There's something seriously wrong with this girl.
She's insane. There's no point overthinking it. If we hadn't solved the epitaph, she would have used those guns, or else that switch, to massacre all of us, right? There's no doubting that now. You are correct. You've ended this game in the best possible way, without there even being a single victim. I wish to convey my respect and admiration. There may have been 7 of you, but you did solve that riddle, which took me so long to solve in a single night. That is worthy of praise. And I admire you for your graciousness and honesty in defeat. Would you like to enter my moon tourism deal? I feel like you are really good with money. What if Kraus is gay? And that's the reason why he got into all these guys that were trying to sell him on all this weird shit, like moon trips, and what if Kraus is, and that's why it took so long for him and Natsu to have a baby, is because Kraus just didn't want to he just didn't like men, or he didn't like girls. That'd be fucking crazy. But but I intend to do all I can to reach a gentlemanly agreement. Genji being gay? That would be interesting. Yeah, that's what I presumed. Holy crap, that would be interesting. Yeah. Pay me no mind any longer. I am already one of the dead, who is already prepared to kill everyone and die myself. The Golden Witch Beatrice solved the epitaph, reached this room, and revived. And now, new people had solved the riddle and reached this room, so her role was finished. When the epitaph's riddle was solved, yeah, I'd say so. They were good friends, as history would put it. Beatrice's illusion of the witch ended. Most likely, no one in this room was capable of understanding her grim determination. She herself was probably the only one who understood. As long as the many selves inside her understood, that was enough. I like the idea. I am one yet many. I abandon myself to the magical roulette of endless possibilities. The result, the answer, is this. This is what the tarot cards known as the Epitaph Ceremony have shown me. Beatrice is already dead. They did not kill her. I killed her myself, in accordance with fate's command. They will never understand for all eternity. Ellipses. The witch stared up at the ceiling without speaking for a while, then looked as though she'd suddenly remembered something. She grabbed at the sleeves of her dress and took out some sort of card. Oh, yes. Let me give you my business card. I have no need for money after death. I will give this to all of you as well. It's my Chase Sapphire card. A cash card. I have converted a portion of the gold to cash. This is for the account that the money is in. I see. So this is the source of the Golden Witch's magical energy. How much? I've forgotten the details. However, there is more than 1 billion yen.
$1 billion? Now that really would be magic.
True. There's nothing you couldn't do with that much money. Very true. The strongest magic to counter the human's anti-magic toxin is this magic of gold. It may be that this card holds greater power than the ingots. Certainly, cash would be much more agreeable than ingots. Here you go. I have no need of this anymore. The card she held out was not taken by any of them. Who would ever just hand over a card with 1 billion yen in it? A mountain of gold, the device for blowing up the island, a card with 1 billion yen. All of these surpassed their understanding. So, no one could bring themselves to take it. I don't like it. What don't you like? Here you go. Here's a mountain of gold. And I'll turn off the explosives and give you a card with 1 billion yen while we're at it. It sounds far too good to be true. You're trying to trick us somehow, aren't you? I have no desire to trick you, but I won't try and force you to believe. I have offered you everything, revealed everything. What you believe and what you decide to do, you do. What you do is now for you, the new masters of the gold, to decide. You are even free to disbelieve all I say and leave this place. Ava, I can't imagine that she's lying. And how could you know that? I don't like how relaxed she's acting. It's as though she thinks she's already won. I just had an idea a second ago. What if she's lying about which is the off side of the switch? What do you mean, Nason? Just a second ago, this woman flipped the switch to the side she said would turn off the bomb. Oh my god. What are we unleashing? Ava, this is like a cognito hazard. You just can't fucking say this shit. Really bad idea, Ava. Wow. That's absolutely terrifying. Okay. Hold up, I clicked off something here. We solved the riddle, so you turned off the bomb switch to on, trying to blow us and everything else up, right? Yeah, I would just be heading down the freaking hallway. Fuck that. Ellipses. If that is what you think, then feel free to flip the switch on this clock. It will be midnight in 1 minute. I would... The clock will show you the truth. What did you say? Ugh, God, these people are fucking idiots. They're gonna kill themselves. I know it. I don't trust these stupid idiots. I feel like the moral of the story is that all these people are fucking stupid as shit. It's all their faults, too. That whole generation of Ushiyamiyas is just a bunch of total assholes. Each one of these people is just a total freaking... Like, this whole generation of Ushiyamiyas is just fucking ridiculous. Oh, wow, isn't it cool that... Like, Leon's there? Okay.
Hey, what are we supposed to do? Is the bomb set to on now? Or off?
I can't imagine that she's lying. It's inactive now. We shouldn't flip it. But I don't like it. Why is she so resigned to her fate? Why is she offering us things one after another? Hold up. Let's look at the prophecy. I don't know. If you read the epitaph, you would see the part where resurrection of all the dead souls, resurrection of the love that was lost, all the gold in the golden land, put the witch to sleep for all time. Sleep beautifully, my beloved witch, Beatrice. She's tricking us to buy time. She's... okay. I don't know. Who's this? Why do you... Okay. I find it interesting that Ava's decided to believe her up until... believe everything she says about the explosives, all that shit. But the minute it comes to whether or not the switch is on or off, then she's suspicious. Like, yeah, I'll trust her, but I don't know about this one. What about the switch itself? Is there some way to tell if it's on or off? On the upper part of the antique clock was a metal switch that could slide right or left. Right now, it was set to the left. However, there were no marks in particular on either side to tell... these fuckers are all gonna die. Which was off and which was on.
Hey, tell us the truth. Which way is off?
Left. It's off now. That's fair. You idiot. You really expect an honest answer from her. It's the opposite. It has to be. The right side must be off. We don't have any more time, Nason. Quit it, Ava. Don't touch the switch. It's set to off now. Please don't let Ava's so... Oh my god. Ava-san, take your hand off it. I agree. It's off now. If she wanted to kill us with a bomb, she wouldn't have told us about it. Thank you, Kyrie.
Beatrice, don't think you can trick me.
5, 4, 3. No. Stop. Don't do it. Boom. The second hand of the clock ticked past midnight. October 4th ended, and the curtain rose on October 5th, 1986. Whew. The switch was still pointing to the left. The witch's words had been proven correct. Have I gained your trust now? You bitch! Oh my god! With a hideous, sweat-covered expression, Ava snatched the cash card away from the witch's hand. How about a bank book and a seal? We can't withdraw anything with just a card. All you need is the PIN. It's 8 digits long. Wait a second. I'm writing it down. 0719112. That's it. Oh, wait, I said that without you even thinking what I thought the PIN number is, but it's 07191129. Ava and Kyrie both took out a pen and notepad and began writing the 8-digit number the witch told them. That is everything I have to tell you and to give you. I will say nothing more. All of my tasks have been completed. 1. After saying this, the witch spun around and sat down on the bed. She wasn't even looking at the others anymore. She sat there like an empty husk, which had, just as she said, finished everything it existed to do. She was like a puppet with her strings cut. For a while. No, there's no way he recognizes his son's birthday at all, in the slightest. For a while, everyone watched the witch to see if she would remember something else and start talking. Oh, did I tell you about the second bomb? The small bombs I fed you in tea. However, she said nothing else. The witch who had called herself one of the dead was now little more than a large French doll wearing a black dress. Umineko no naku koro ni chiru. Nocturne of Truth and Illusions. Okay. Gold is the only physical embodiment of magic that can exist in the human world. Yay, nobody dies, happy ending, peace, love, harmony. Since ancient times, even a small bit of it could control men with its magic. In that case, how much magic power would dwell in it? If it was piled up in a mountain so high, you'd have to look up to see the top. Don't be stupid, we'll split it evenly. Isn't that the obvious solution? Didn't we say that half of this pile would belong to me, and the other half would be split between the 4 of us? The yells of the humans dancing around the gold reverberated throughout the underground room. In front of the pile of gold, they were arguing about how it should be split. Did you solve the riddle all by yourself, Nissan? You didn't, right? The 4 of us siblings solved it together. Of course we'll split it in 4 equal parts. Coward! Weren't you the ones who first made that proposal about the gold's distribution? How can you disregard that so easily? Oh, she's got you there, Ava.
You really think you're in a position to bargain? When you're the ones hiding Dad's death?
Ooh. Yeah. You've been swindling us this whole time, treating father's wealth as if it were your own. All you need to do is split the gold evenly, and we'll drop all the rest, including that particular issue. Sounds very fair to me. I love Kyrie. Well, if you insist, go ahead and try splitting it 4 ways. Let's divide this pile up right now, and you can all take your shares home. I hope you have pockets that can hold 2.5 tons of ingots. It seems you've all been driven mad by the gold and lost all ability to make rational judgments. What do you mean by that, Kraus Nissan? What do you mean by that, Kraus Nissan? Look at this ingot. As you can see, there are no official markings, just father's crest. Also, in my head, this shit's all made up about it being 99.99 proof. That's never been said with the gold truth. Fuck that. That's just part of the lore. Oh, somebody tested it. Bullshit. Okay. That is a gold truth. That's because gold truth are just cool things to believe in. That if you hope enough, it's cool. And it, like, helps you sleep at night. How do you intend to turn unmarked gold like this into cash?
Well,
have you finally figured it out? This pile of gold may be worth 20 billion yen. However, that's only if you can trade it for cash. Are any of you capable of exchanging this many unmarked, unidentified ingots for cash at the proper rates? He is fair. That is correct. If it was a necklace or a ring, exchanging it would have been a manageable problem. However, doing that for several tons of gold, of unmarked gold, that couldn't be made public, would be impossible for any normal person. However, Kraus could do it. Among the several business friends that remained from Kinzo's generation, there were some who had black market ties and lots of financial power. The billion yen tied to the cash card that the Golden Witch had held out a second ago had already been turned to cash thanks to one of Kinzo's connections. However, none of the other siblings had any connections like that. They would have to rely on Kraus to get cash for the gold. Cash for gold. Now you're finally seeing it. I apologize for hiding all of those things about father. However, you are in no position to take advantage of that weakness. Oh my god, she picked up the fucking gun. You really think you have such an advantage because of something like that? What do you intend to do with that gun? Please, you're scaring us. Ava was gripping the gun so hard it looked like it might snap. The 4 guns that the witch had placed in this room were now in the hands of the relatives. Just as the gold had led their hearts astray, it seemed that these guns had the magical power to turn their hearts to violence. Finally, a scuffle arose between Ava and Kraus. Off to the side, Natsui started arguing with Rudolph and his wife, and the grand underground VIP room was filled with thundering jeers. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Man, these guys are cringe as fuck, right, Leon? After being forced to watch this scene for so long, Angie's face was starting to contort with pain. It was only natural, after being shown this abusive argument between her parents and her other relatives. What on earth? It was painful for Leon, too. Leon would have tried to intervene and calm them if that had been possible. The gold isn't going anywhere, right? If you just slow down and think, you'll be able to resolve this. Going by what Ava and the others said, it's clear that they'll need a lot of money before the end of the year. However, the billion-yen cash card should be more than enough to pay for that. That would handle their emergency expenses, so they could then convert the gold to cash at their leisure. And just split it amongst themselves. Sure, maybe Kraus was the only one of converting the gold. That might give him an advantage over the other siblings. However, this gold couldn't be dealt with by open means. In addition to attracting public attention, it would also lead to various legal problems, because it's not really property of anybody's, really. It was better for the secret money to remain secret. If they wanted to get the largest portions possible, then they should all agree to not tell anyone about this gold. In other words, to maximize their profits, they would all need to make a gentleman's agreement to keep the secret. Now, what I wonder... No, that wouldn't make sense. That doesn't add up with the timeline. At least for episode 1, it doesn't. Because something like this could explain how he's going to die in episode 1. Kraus did have a slight advantage. However, it was possible for the other relatives to refuse to cooperate and tell the world about the gold. Oh, this is some game theory shit. What the fuck? Okay. And then, there was also a concealment of Kinso's death to consider. Kraus was an investor. He needed not only financial clout, but also a certain degree of public confidence in him. His advantage isn't big enough for him to act so overbearing. He needs to go on Shark Tank. Dun 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 dun. That's what he would be doing. Hey sharks, I'm here to introduce you a new idea of how we can get people to the moon. The mountain of gold has made everyone lose their ability to think rationally. This isn't an argument between adults, it's just a fight between kids. What's so fun about showing us this? Or is this some game of some new witch? Are they watching us suffer from somewhere, laughing? By now, even I didn't have a clue who was showing this to us, or for what reason. At the very least, this new tale didn't seem to be overflowing with affection. At first, I thought it was a tale of a beautiful world, where no crime occurred and Claire's regrets had vanished. But something's different. This tale is clearly filled with ill will towards us. I'm sure of that much now, but I don't have a clue who would want to show us this. Suddenly, an explosion rang out. I didn't think it was the sound of gunfire. After all, people living a normal life never hear that kind of sound. Drip, 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 drip. It was the sound of thick raindrops hitting the floor. There was no rain in this underground room. It was blood dripping down from Natsui's right eye. The bullet had gone in through her right eye towards the back of her head. Natsui? It's your fault for jumping at me! The gun, which fell from Ava's grasp, landed on the floor with a hard, metallic clang. As though in response to that sound, Natsui's head slowly turned to face the ceiling. My fingers feel like wood. Natsui! Natsui! Natsui flopped backwards, and the back of her head hit the floor. A red splash spread out beneath it, forming a single flower to adorn her dead face. Eek! Natsui Nason! Why did you shoot my fucking wife? Ava! Kraus howled, raised his gun, and ran at Ava. At the same time, Hideyoshi leapt between them. A scuffle broke out between the two men. How could you? Natsu! Kraus Nissan, you've got it wrong. You've got it all wrong. I think he's got it right, dog. It was just an accident. She's fucking dead. Oh my god. I'll kill you. I didn't shoot. I didn't shoot. I didn't. Even though I told her to stop, she just jumped at me. Kraus, who had just seen his wife killed before his eyes, had lost all traces of rationality in his expression. He was so furious that if he had knocked Hideyoshi aside and jumped at Ava, he might have torn her throat out. Why did you kill her? Why? Ava! It was an accident. An accident. Calm down, Kraus Nissan. Boom. Ow, 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 ow. Oh god. Okay. Does this match with any of the Twilights? Or no, this is its own game. I have to keep remembering that. This is its own game. Another explosion rang out. Hideyoshi's face was covered with blood. The two of them had been fighting over the gun Kraus held, trying to push it away from themselves. And the barrel had turned to point Kraus's chin. Oh my god. Formless Reaper, master of the Room of Gold, had swung its scythe once more. A line of blood trickled from Kraus's mouth. Whoa! Yeah! The two fell down, with Kraus's body on top of Hideyoshi. Jesus. Letting out a cowardly cry, Hideyoshi backed away before Kraus's body could cover him. Dear. Didn't do anything. Kraus Nissan's finger just caught on the trigger. Whatever, dude. Why am I getting double fucking stream booed by some Russian shit? Hell no. It's an accident. An accident, I tell you. That's right, an accident. This was all an accident. As the pair of them broke down sobbing and repeatedly claimed that it was all an accident, Rosa and the others were unable to say a thing. The witch also watched this scene, but said nothing and appeared to be completely disinterested. It wasn't our fault. Except they're both fucking dead. It was just an accident. Like, 2 accidents. You saw, right? Right? Yeah, you saw that, didn't you, Rosa? Kraus Nissan and Natsui Nissan both let their emotions get a hold of them and charged at us. Who knows? Couldn't say either way. Stupid Rosa, you saw, didn't you? You saw it right from there, so you must know. I'm sorry. I can't tell if it happened by accident or if you killed them and tried to make it look like an accident. Yeah, Rosa is cold. Goddamn. Rosa, you! Rudolph-kun, you saw. Well, you know what happened, right? Right?
Sorry, but I agree with Rosa. We can't tell if it was an accident or intentional.
Bro, your brother just died. Let's chill and be, like, sad for a little bit. Rosa's and Rudolph's gazes looked very cold and indifferent to Ava and her husband. What are we going to do? They were shot to death. Saying it was a simple accident won't convince anyone. The forest. We'll say they went to the forest and went missing. That will buy us some time. That won't get us off the hook, right? The police will just search the whole fucking forest. And anyway, who would go Who would those two go off in? And why would those two go off into an uncultivated forest like that versus a more cultivated forest? It'll look suspicious from the start. There's no way we'll get away with it. It'll be okay. Yeah, this is so fucking crazy. If we hide the corpses here, nobody will ever be able to find them. If we all play dumb, it'll work. It won't. There's no way you can fool the police. If the two of them disappear during a family conference where we were arguing over the inheritance problem, the police won't just put it down as a case of missing persons. I just had an idea. Though Ava had been scratching at her head, overcome with emotion, her arms suddenly fell as though their strings had been cut, like a puppet. What did you think of? An accident. We just need to make it look like an accident. Idiot! What kind of accident? There are clear gunshot wounds on both corpses, right? Even if we burn them to make it look like they were caught in a fire, it'll still be obvious they were killed by guns. A fire? That's not good enough. We need more. A much more massive accident. A massive accident? Oh no. Ava slowly walked forward, tapped it, and spoke. An explosion accident. We just need the sort of accident that will leave no traces of their corpses. Oh no. I can see the witch in her face. I'm terrified right now. As she played with the switch that would cause an automatic explosion at midnight, Ava spun around to look at them, a crazed expression on her face. It was truly a mad flash of inspiration. If they flipped the switch to the right and waited for midnight, the 900 tons of explosives would wipe out the mansion without a trace. There wouldn't even be anything left of the corpses. There certainly wouldn't be any way to tell that they died by gunshot wounds before the explosion. It's an unshakable fact that this island is filled with explosives from the war. Then, by coincidence, tomorrow night, something will set off by chance, and the whole thing will explode. Yes, it'll be an accident. An explosion accident. What do you say? There's no way the police will find out the truth. This way, we can pull it off. We can hide the manner of their deaths. Oh, that's crazy. What the fuck is going on? Shaking, Hideyoshi frantically searched for a counter-argument, hoping to shut down Ava's mad idea. But he couldn't find one. If they blew everything up, the facts would all be muddled. They could make it look as though Krause and Natsui had died in an explosion accident. It's perfect. Just perfect. After all, it was an accident that they died anyway. We're just changing the type of accident. Isn't that right? We can think of any story we want. By chance, the rest of us will happen to be at a hidden mansion tomorrow night. When the explosion accident occurs, we'll be lucky enough to survive. That story should work. So is everybody gonna die? I knew this shit wasn't gonna have a happy ending. I'm so sad. Just what sort of story are you planning on? What kind of story could explain how the two of them remained here while the rest of us conveniently went to the hidden mansion and managed to escape? That's what we've got to think up now, stupid Rosa. Baka Rosa. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as we agree to it. I'll think of something. I am thinking. You won't think too. Someone think of something. Calm down, Ava. I'll think about it, and so will everyone else. We'll definitely think of something. It'll all work out. We'll share the burden. You won't have to carry it all yourself. It'll be okay. It will. I know we'll think of a good excuse for killing two innocent people. Well, not really innocent, but like, two people. What kind of excuse? We took the kids and all the servants to go to exploring an underground passageway, leaving just the two of them behind. And the rest of us all decided to spend the night in the hidden mansion. How could any excuse work? It's insane. Yeah, how'd that work out for Angie? She bore all the fucking burden. And thinking up that insane thing is our job. Why are you acting like this has nothing to do with you? You think of something too. Nason, let me ask you a question. If you blow up the island, what will happen to this gold? Well, we've finally got our hands on 20 billion yen of gold, and you want to blow it all away. We can just carry it away. Yeah, that's right. The explosion will happen tomorrow at midnight. We have a full day. If we all carry it together, we might. You realize there's 10 tons of it, right? Just how much do you think our small group can carry back and forth across this long underground passage that goes all the way across the island? You're being absurd. Here, we have this card, right? The card with 1 billion yen, the one that the woman gave us. Well, just carry as much gold as we can. We have the card with 1 billion yen on top of that. If we split it that way, we'll have 300 million yen each. That should be enough for all of our purposes. I don't like it. You don't like what? We have a mountain of gold worth 20 billion yen right here. Why should we be satisfied with just 300 million each? But Rosa! Ava's face twisted in anguish and was met by Rosa's look of cold unconcern. If we gave Kraus Nissan his share, we'd each have a share of 5 billion, you fucking numbskull. Subtract the 300 billion from the card, and the rest of my share is 4.7 billion. If you agree to that much, to pay that much to me, then you can do whatever you want with this mountain of gold. I really don't care. What do you think you're saying? So you don't intend to cooperate? Nason, please calm down and listen. This plan will let both of us leave with the maximum amount of money. What? I want you to go to the police and turn yourself in, admitting that you got into a scuffle and the gun went off. Are you crazy? I don't want to go to the police. Of course. We don't say that the crime happened here. The police would find the gold. Yes, how about the rose garden? Yeah? Yeah, and we made them fight over all the gold. It's pouring rain now, so the police probably won't find any contradictions at the crime scene. I'll let you think of an excuse for why you and Nissan started fighting while you were holding guns in the rainy rose garden. Please don't try to get us and our shares involved just because you want to hide your own crime. Rosa! It's not so bad, right? After all, it's not like they'll keep you in jail for several decades. It was all just an accident, right? He'll be able to get out after a few years. When you've paid for your sins and come back, you can do whatever you want with your 5 billion. No, I'd never do that. What would happen if we were arrested? So what if in episode 3... Did Battler ever see Natsui and Kraus in the guest house in episode 3 is my question. Because that would explain how that murder could have occurred in there. Is if they were never actually killed there in the first place. They were actually killed here, then dragged there by the rest of them. And then Ava used that opportunity to kill Rosa. Meanwhile... But... No, that's not... I don't have enough to tie it together yet. What would happen if we were arrested? What would happen to my husband's company? Who cares about the company? If 5 billion yen working any longer would just be a waste of time, right? Rosa had never intended to go along with Ava's proposal. If it was a question of maximizing each person's portion, no one had anything to gain from an explosion accident. An explosion would conceal Kraus and Natsui's deaths. It would serve no further purpose. From Rosa's perspective, the ideal outcome would be for them to try to confess their crimes without any unnecessary tricks. All she wanted was to change the crime scene from here to a different place. However, Ava didn't want to be arrested. She didn't like having her share shrink from 5 billion to 300 million. But even that was more than enough to cover the amount she had been trying to wring out of Kraus in the first place. She wanted to hide what had happened here, even if it meant blowing away 4.7 billion yen. That's not even all of it. It's literally 20 billion, actually. But whatever, it'll just be goofy. And what would happen if they were arrested? The life, the company, and the trust that Ava had worked so long to build were things that couldn't be bought back with money. So she wanted to hide Kraus and Natsui's deaths, even if it meant blowing up all 4.7 billion yen worth of her gold. What a fucking idiot. But from Rosa's perspective, that was just irrational nonsense. It is. It's really selfish and stupid. Rosa? What do you think you're doing with that gun, Nason? Are you going to have me die in an explosion too? That'll make finding an excuse even harder. Yeah, it's this is all rich people shit. Oh, 300 million yen isn't enough. In fact, it'll make it harder to explain why the other 2 deaths is accidents too. 3 whole deaths means it'll be quite a large-scale crime. It would probably get you the death penalty, or life in prison if you're lucky. Even in the best case, you'll probably be put away for more than a decade, right? Turn yourself in. If you do, this will be no more than a pair of unfortunate accidents. Of course, your jail term won't be too terrible either. Don't worry about George-kun. We'll take good care of it. And we'll make sure that your entire share of 5 billion yen is waiting for you when you get back. Ava ground her teeth and glared. The Rosa she knew should have been shaking and obeying her commands. And yet, Rosa wasn't scared. Her blank expression, no, that faint smile, was one that Ava had never seen before. Put the gun down, Nason. Once you calm down, you'll see that my plan is the best one. Jail isn't so bad, right? Think of it as a financial strategy. Even if they put you in for 10 years, there will be 5 billion yen waiting for you when you get out. That's like working for a 500 million yen salary, right? If you think of it that way, won't you enjoy your job more? Liar! You just want to steal my share away while I'm in there, like your man did to you. Oh my god! Jesus Christ, Ava! That's a low fucking blow. He has nothing to do with this, okay? I won't run away. I'd never run away with someone's money. Never do it. Rosa's once frigid face was filled with rage. The two howling people pointed their guns at each other, shouting insults. You could smell the gold room's reaper slinking closer. Yeah, she does. I think what's fucked up is that Kyrie, Rudolph, and Sayo are all watching this. And just not saying or doing anything. The smell of gunpowder, the explosive smell of death filled the room. Oh shit. Drip. A bubble of blood dripped from Rosa's mouth. Her medulla oblongata has been severed. She fell over lifelessly, like a mannequin someone had pushed over. Ava. It wasn't me. I swear to God, I didn't even pull the trigger. What the fuck? The round in the chamber of your gun was spent when you fired at Natsui-san, right? You never reloaded. So even if you pulled the trigger, that gun won't kill anyone. Have no fear. As Kyrie said this, she maneuvered the lever action with a practiced hand, and a smoke-smelling shell casing was ejected. It hit the floor with a small, metallic sound. Blink. That tiny sound had a disturbing ring to it. Rosa-san's analysis was a little naive. She has no idea how difficult it would be to exchange this many unmarked gold ingots for money. Back in Dad's day, even just showing this gold to get funding was enough to create the massive rumor called the Ushiramiya Legend of the Gold. Exchanging this for cash is impossible. A pile of gold you can't use is no better than a pile of crap. 10 tons of gold were exchanged for cash in the black market, and the successor and his wife died mysterious deaths. Expecting that to go unnoticed is what's really unbelievable. We don't want to get the police involved. We'll blow up this island and destroy all the evidence. If it's tough parting with the gold, feel free to grab as much as you can hold. The billion yen cash on the cash card is more than enough. In other words, Ava Nason was right. I'm glad. It looks like we're on the same page. If the police get involved, who knows what might happen. It's the same with cashing in the gold. I'm sure that would have tripped us up somewhere, so we had no choice. The 1 billion... How did Kraus and Kyrie die? They died in the mansion with Hideyoshi in episode 3, which is interesting. Even splitting that billion, it'll be more than enough for what we need. On top of that, now that Rosa is dead, our shares have increased even more. Yep. That's right. We can each leave this island with 500 million. Exactly. As long as we don't let our greedy desire to cash in the gold control us. We can pretend that everything that occurred on this island never happened. Yep. We have a way to do that right here. By this point, neither deaths from accidental discharges nor shooting murders meant anything on this island. Everything would be erased equally by the explosion accident. Yeah, this is like destroying my soul. No matter what happened between now and midnight the next day, everything would be rewritten. And you told me to turn myself in? Stupid. You weren't satisfied with just 300 million? This is what you get for being too greedy. You brought this upon yourself. But, Kyrie-san, there was no need to shoot her, right? Even Rosa-san would have just figured it out if you just told her. I did need to shoot her. After all, Rosa-san's the only one who didn't fire her gun. What does that matter? The guns lying at your feet are Kraus Nissan and Eva Nissan's. Both of those have been fired. However, Rosa's gun can shoot if you just pull the trigger. It's hard to reload one of these if you aren't used to a lever action. An amateur would have some trouble pulling it off. Kyrie-san, what are you talking about? You! They finally realized what Kyrie meant. Rosa had the only gun that could still fire. So I shot her first. Kyrie is a bad bitch who has envy. How foolish were we? Why didn't we realize sooner? Even though we knew there's a mechanism for erasing everything that happens on this island. Eva and Hideyoshi hurried to pick up the guns that lay at their feet. Dead. At the same time, fire spat from Kyrie's gun once more. He's dead as fuck. Holy shit. Hideyoshi let out a short scream, clutched at his chest, and fell over, face down. Kasumi is Kyrie. Kasumi Kyrie theory is unlocked, ladies and gentlemen. Holy fuck. Kyrie is such a bad bitch. But wow, I really wasn't expecting like just villain Kyrie. Dear. Why is this? Ava fiddled with the lever action, trying to imitate something she vaguely remembered from a Western movie. But something seemed to be caught, and the still open lever didn't budge. See? That's pretty hard. You! Kyrie finished reloading with a fluid motion. The way she held it was as innocent and sure as a kid playing with a squirt gun. Wow. There is no love here at all, Eric. Is this Lambda? With another heartless cry of gunfire, the puppet called Ava slumped down to the floor as though its strings had been cut. Rudolph-san, the billion-yen card, please.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that's right. We do have a Lambda in chat. That's crazy. The cash card with a billion yen, which Ava had just grabbed from the witch, that alone was worth more than enough. The 20 billion yen pile of gold had skewed everyone's sense of value. Brazilian ass laugh. I look at my stream analytics. I have a ton of Brazilians. Like, that's a big chunk. I have a consistent Brazilian audience. Brazil. Just a few million yen is enough for people to kill over. Holy shit. And this was 1 billion yen. Rosa-san? Those were some famous last words there. Just 300 million. You were too greedy.
Unlike me, who has no greed. No kidding. Ah, lucky me. I don't have to fish through her corpse.
As Rudolph walked up to Ava's body, he found the card lying beside it and picked it up. So this flimsy little card
is worth 1 billion yen. Sticking with the company would be a waste of time. So, do we close up shop and spend the rest of our lives in some southern country?
What if she kills him too? I'm sure you'd get bored right away. Besides, I like seeing you get all worried about some problem, then leap around like a little kid when you finally overcome it. I don't know. I have no...
Sure you do.
Thank you, Miss Golden Witch. Rudolph-san and I will make good use of this billion. Kraus Nissan promised to treat you in a gentlemanly fashion, but I haven't made any such promise. Fuck Kyrie! Holy shit! She pulled the trigger without a trace of mercy. When the ringing of the gunfire died down, blood trickled from the witch's mouth, and she fell over onto the bed. Once again, Kyrie ejected the used shell casing. The 4 metal sounds of used shells hitting the floor seemed to symbolize the fact that Rudolph and his wife now possessed all shares of the gold. All of them were really slow-witted. From the moment they heard about the bomb, they should have known that they wouldn't be leaving this island as a big, happy family.
Sorry about this, Aniki. Rosa. Well, that's life for you. Give me a break, okay? Aniki and Aniki get into a fight. Rosa gets dragged in. I'm the one who picks up the pieces, just like it's always been, right?
It wasn't as though Rudolph and Kyrie had planned to kill everyone and take everything for themselves from the start. Kyrie had quickly realized that, by the length of the barrel of the gun in her hands, it would probably hold 5 rounds at a time. Yes. Kyrie and Rudolph were both very familiar with this gun. Rudolph, whose interest in guns from old westerns came from his father, owned a shotgun of the same model. Even Kyrie had earned the qualifications to use that gun, becoming familiar enough with it that they could go shooting together for fun. Including the witch, there had been 8 people here. 6 people besides the 2 of them. Each gun held 5 rounds. It was 1 short. They didn't have enough to kill everyone.
To be honest, it really surprised me when they got into a fight and one of the guns went off.
Six deaths, 5 shots? No. Oh, 6 deaths like the first Twilight. Oh my god. What the fuck? It's still happening. What the fuck? That coincidental accident had provided the missing bullet. It wasn't the second shot. The very first shot, which had accidentally killed Matsui, had guaranteed that this massacre would happen. In this smoke and corpse-filled room of gold, the two of them wore easygoing smiles, hardly any different from those they usually wore.
What? What do we do now?
Rudolph picked up Rose's gun. Then he fired a test shot at the wall and ejected the old shell with a smooth motion like Kyrie's. What really happened in the other games? Oh no. Kyrie went to the box of bullets on the table, casually picked up a few, and loaded them one after another into her gun.
Chista sisters.
Set the bomb switch to on. Then we just need to wait 24 hours.
Everyone's gonna run wild when the morning comes and they can't find us.
Then we just need to make sure they don't.
Guess so. What about Battler?
He's your son, not mine.
Don't say that. Look how attached he is to you. He really respects you.
And think of a clever way to trick him. I'll worry about Angie. You worry about Battler-kun. Fair enough. Wow. Holy shit.
Sure.
I'm kind of my own children. But it's a real pain to be nice to a Sumu-san's kid. You understand, I hope. I'm fucking just... like, my mouth is wide open agape right now. Kyrie's voice had grown cold. She acted warmly towards Battler because that had been the adult thing to do. He was Rudolph's son, so he tried to avoid being hostile, nothing more. But underneath, he was the son of a Sumu, a woman Kyrie still hated, even though she was dead. Now that she had given birth to Angie and finally built up a new family, was Battler's return really such a happy thing for her? Get yourself ready. Now that we've come this far, we can only go for the billion yen or die. If you can't convince Battler-kun, I'm sorry, but I won't be taking any chances.
No need to threaten me. I'll take care of it. I'll find a good story to tell him.
Make sure you do. I know Angie will be very sad if she's forced to hear about Battler-kun dying in an accident.
Sure. How do we start?
We have nothing to gain by waiting for morning. Now is the best time.
Oh, wonderful. Not even time for a break.
Did she shoot him? Okay, holy smokes. Tea party, by the way. Must we remind ourselves this is a tea party? A test? What's this supposed to be? At this time of night? Starting now? Battler yelled wildly to the receiver. When he said at this time of night, George and Jessica turned to look. According to the clock, it was past midnight. It might be a normal time to be told to brush their teeth and go to bed, but he couldn't understand what this test thing was all about. This is so fucking creepy. I'm like getting fucking chills right now. Okay, I'll hand it over. Here, George Aniki. It's my dad. Hello. This is George speaking.
Hey, George Kuhn. Sorry to call so late. You weren't sleeping already, were you? You're all still up chatting away?
Pretty much. Maria-chan is sleeping. Oh, wait, it looks like she just woke up. So, what did you want to talk about? Battler-kun said something about a test?
Yeah. Dad can be such a pain sometimes. He suddenly came down from his room. A bunch of stuff happened, and by the end he was talking about which grandchild would make the best successor.
But isn't Uncle Kraus a successor?
Well, he says the four of us aren't up for the job. So he's gonna skip us adults and choose one of you grandkids instead. It's all so sudden, we're really freaking out here. Aniki and the others are all arguing about it across the room. I'll bet you can hear Aniki shrieking in the background, huh?
Is that so? If that's what grandfather says, then there's no way around it, I guess. In that case, what should we do?
He says he wants to call you out one by one, starting with Jessica-chan.
Oh no.
Oh, wait a sec. Okay, you still there? It looks like you and Jessica-chan will be first up to bat. He wants Jessica to go to the parlor in the mansion. You're supposed to go out in front of the chapel.
It's so sudden, I hardly feel ready. What sort of test is it?
It looks like Dad made up some kind of crazy quiz. Some weird questions about what it means to be the head.
Of course, a few things about this seemed off to George. However, Kinzo was famous for doing radical things on a whim. Even this strange test seemed plausible once he heard that it was a sudden idea of Kinzo's. But even so, if he wanted to test them one by one, why wouldn't he call them out one by one? They could just have everyone wait in some reception room, be called in one at a time. Why would two people be called to different places at the same time? The plan didn't seem to make sense, and George felt he was missing something. Well, so you can be ambushed, obviously.
Still, I wonder why he wanted to meet you in front of the chapel of all places. He expects a lot from you. I think he wants to talk to you alone. Not sure what about.
Grandfather wants to talk to me? He's appealing to George's, big fucking ego.
I wonder what he's got to say. I mean, you're the most talented of all his grandkids.
Oh my god.
He's probably got something to tell you in particular, right? Anyway, that's what he says. Get over there, right away. I'm supposed to go to the chapel, too. So let's get this over with.
Oh, he's... okay.
We're both gonna catch colds.
He is a fucking swindler. I see. Okay. Then I'll head towards the front of the chapel, and Jessica-chan will go to the parlor. Sure. I'll see you in a bit, then. What sort of test or private conversation would Kinzo possibly want to have at this time of night? Then again, it's a well-known fact that Kinzo doesn't have long to live. It wouldn't be so strange if he wanted to give some sort of will to each of his descendants individually. Inside George's mind, the faint feeling that something was wrong was replaced by a desire to meet Kinzo directly and hear about this in more detail. George set down the receiver and quickly explained to the others. It's as you heard. Grandfather says he wants to give us all some kind of test. Ugh. A test? After hiding in his study all these years, he suddenly decides to give us a test this late at night? Damn that old geezer. I'm sorry, Jessica. I never should have suspected you. What's he thinking? It seems our parents feel the same way. It sounds as though they're very worked up about it. Well, I doubt getting worked up about it will change grandfather's mind. I don't think I'm gonna finish both tea parties tonight. I might just have to do one tea party tonight and then do the second one tomorrow. I doubt getting worked up about it will change grandfather's mind. You think? Do you think this is I think this is a pretty good place to pause. I mean, it's been 2.5 hours. Yeah. Hours left in this? Yeah. Okay. Let's take a pause here then for tonight. Oh. Am I gonna fill up? No, I'm not gonna fill them all up. Yeah, I really have Kyrie issues now. To put it mildly. I think she maybe did some problematic things there. I have a feeling that this whole narrative is gonna be, like, thrown upside down. Remember when this asshole was my biggest fucking issue? Due to the Rokkenjima explosion incident that occurred shortly after. This very much rivals Disco. I'm just having a little wish fulfillment here. Okay. Just like Maria. Okay, gang. We'll keep working through this tomorrow. Holy shit, this is a crazy night. Good night, guys. Oh, shit. Okay, bye.